Welcome to 5 Minutes Cooking Recipes episode 1. I posted a video or a picture of pancakes that I made on Instagram, and a lot of people were asking me, how did you get it this perfect? How did you make it to look like this? So I'm going to be showing you guys here. I'm going to try as much as possible to make this video less than 5 minutes or at most 5 minutes. But before that, I want to give a shout out to the person who actually taught me this method. And check out her Instagram. She actually posts cooking videos and lifestyle videos. But that's it. So let's head straight into this, and we have every single ingredient here, and I'm going to start making it right now. You're going to first of all add the dry ingredients and mix them. So you add a tablespoon of, I'm going to write down the measurements on the video, but you add a tablespoon of baking powder, and if you have baking soda, you add that as well with the flour, and then a pinch of salt. Salt shouldn't be that much. So that should do, and basically just mix everything together. I also wanted to say that if you have the vanilla extract, you can just add them as well. It actually makes it a lot better, but I no longer have that. It's finished, so just go with what we have right now. It still comes out great, by the way. Once you're done mixing this, you're going to set it aside. We're going to be mixing the wet ingredients separate from these. So for those of you who regularly make pancakes, I believe you're familiar with this first step. The first thing is you're going to have a butter, salted butter, and you're going to melt it. If you have a microwave, that's fine. You can melt it for like 20 seconds. If you just have a gas burner, you can just heat that up, and it should be done in 20-30 seconds. And then usually 1 large egg is recommended, but I personally like to be greedy and I like to use 2. Then you're going to need milk. So I'm using this milk here in Rwanda. It's actually low fat, but any milk at all works. Those are the 3 things you're going to be mixing together, and then once you're done, you mix it with the dried ingredient you had here earlier. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour my milk. And you don't want to use, I'm going to put the measurement right there again, but you don't want to make this very watery. Break your eggs in, and then you're going to add your melted butter. So this butter is specifically for baking and cooking as well. You can get those in any store at all. Any butter, for salted butter that's meant for cooking. Just going to dust this and then mix everything together. Now you're going to add everything into the dried ingredients and mix it until it becomes very smooth and there's no longer lumps in it. That should do it. Now this right here is my favorite part. By the way, I got a new pan. I actually like the pattern inside. Anyways, I'm going to explain this in a very short second. Now when it comes to making the pancake to look like this, you don't need butter, you don't need oil, you just need a pan and your heat. So the trick here is that you need a very low heat, and this gets very heated up. So what I like to do is, instead of putting a pan and waiting for it to heat, I just put a pan and then I load up my pancakes into the pan, and then after 2 minutes I flip them once I start seeing those bubbles. And another thing I'm going to say is that you're going to be very patient with this method, especially if it's going to be easily heating up your pan a lot, because if you do the first batch and then you flip it, what's going to happen on the next one, if you don't wait for it to cool down, is that it's going to mess it up. So once you get the first batch of pancakes out, the second batch, what you want to do is you turn off the burner and then you load up another batch of pancakes, and then you turn it back on and put it on lowest heat, and then after 2 minutes you flip. So we're going to do that right now. And so these are the pancakes that we made today. And one thing I just want to tell you, it's perfectly fine for underneath to be rough. This is obviously not well done under, but yeah, these holes and the rest, it's perfectly fine. So this color has to like just go all around it. I couldn't wait any longer because I wanted to have this. But once you're done, you can like drizzle honey on it, eat it with strawberry or powdered sugar, whatever it is that you want to use on it, or even just have your coffee with it. It works perfectly fine. You will always get this. And another thing, I noticed that not all of my pans make these pancakes come out this way. So you want to get something that's like there's a non-stick pan like this. I think it works perfectly. You can try whatever pan you have, but usually I notice that this works best. I'll see you guys in episode 2.